Is it just
Okay.
like last week? Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get
There
started.
we
So
go.
the new coach training, this is week 2. And so last week, Irene and I talked to you guys all about Success Club and using the business activity tracker. So this week, we're going to be talking about rank and how we earn money and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Hopefully. Okay. So the importance of getting to Emerald. If you don't already know, hopefully you did watch some of the trainings in the back office, like we kind of told you guys to. There should be a training about rank and getting to Emerald back there too. But Emerald is basically your first big important goal, like your first like milestone. Like it unlocks the earning potential, which we're going to talk to you guys about today too. It opens the customer lead program, which just so you guys know, when I started coaching about 3 months later, the COVID pandemic hit. And I was so lucky that I had already hit Emerald and that I was hitting Success Club because all of a sudden I started getting all these leads. I have like probably 200 plus customers just in this last year from free leads that Beachbody gives you just by being Emerald and hitting Success Club every month, which is Success Club, just a refresher, is basically you're helping 3 new people each month, which should be a no-brainer. These are like, there is a program for everyone in our library, like everybody, no matter who they are, if they're young or old, like if they're disabled, if they're, you know what I mean? Everybody can benefit from the tools that we have to offer. So finding 3 new people should be a non-negotiable every month. And again, you're going to unlock your earning potential. You get to get free leads from the company. And so this fall, we have so many new things launching. If you're on our team calls, you know that we're going to be doing like Body Interactive and the Nutrition Plus stuff and just everything. We're going to be offering like cycle classes and like a new mix bike, which is going to rival Peloton, and it's cheaper. So we're about to blow up just as a company. So you making sure that you secure your Emerald status and get good at hitting Success Club every month is going to ensure that when that starts to happen and we start to explode coming like end of summer, early fall into December, like you want to be getting these free leads because I think it's going to be even bigger than when the pandemic hit. Because the pandemic, all that did was remind people like, hey, I can get a good workout at my house. Like I don't need to pay $150 a month at a gym. I can pay $100 a year and be a part of Beachbody and get great workouts. So but also more than anything, hitting Emerald, once you kind of lock that in, it tells your coach, Irene and I, or whoever your coach is, that like you're serious and we know that you're committed to actually growing your business. And it can give us an opportunity to probably give you a little bit more one-on-one training and just more mentorship from us. We kind of know where your head's at. And we want you to grow a team if that's your goal. So what is Emerald? Irene, you want to tell them like about Emerald without going too far into like all of the diamond stuff?
Without talking too much. Okay. So Emerald is step one. There is like from the beginning, Alicia just said, but you know,
Sorry.
learning how to hit Emerald. The reason that it's important in the beginning, but also just important for you to know how to do is because this is how you build a business. You start at Emerald and then you hit Emerald again and again and again. And then you teach other people how to hit Emerald and then they hit Emerald again. Like this is literally like a lot of the top coaches will argue this is the bread and butter of the business is like mastering how to go Emerald over and over. So it's a really important first step for your own confidence, I personally think. And it helps you to, like Alicia said, we're unlocking the important parts of this business where Beachbody basically helps you for doing a good job, helps you for bringing other people in and helping them to get a hold of their health and maybe start building a business themselves. So it's basically Beachbody's way of patting you on the back, just like hitting Success Club. You also get free stuff from doing that. You get like the swag that they send you just to congratulate you for doing your job, right? So hitting Emerald is signing up 2 people under you as coaches. So having a coach account, just like you do. They don't have to be, okay, so I am going to talk a little bit about like working coaches versus discount coaches. This is about to be obsolete. I think they pushed the date back to August, but soon they're going to come up with a preferred customer program, which right now you're only a customer or you're a coach. There's no other like way to do it. So either customer pays full price or coaches work the business and get discounts, or only get discounts if that's what they want. So there's a big chunk of people who sign up as coaches, but they aren't interested in working the business. They just want to take advantage of the discounts. We call them discount coaches. For hitting Emerald, it doesn't matter whether they're a discount coach or a working coach. It's the same thing, because in the system, they're just a coach. It's still going to be the same thing when they have the preferred customer program, but we'll be able to know. So like me and Alicia, we'll be able to look at our downline and see like, okay, this person is not interested in coaching. They've deemed themselves just as a preferred customer. They aren't interested in building a business. They just want to take advantage of the discounts. Versus Chris is here and he wants to work the business. He's building the business. He's a working coach. So you kind of designate yourself like that in the system, but that's something we'll train on later. So in the meantime, just having somebody signed up as a coach with a coach account who is active status. Did we already talk about active or not?
I can't remember if we did that last week. Now, why don't you talk a little bit about active and how to stay active? That's a good.
Yeah, we both talk about this in our onboarding emails, but I think we didn't talk about it in here yet. So in order for you personally, like for all of us to be active coaches and to be able to earn commission and earn Success Club and any of those things, we have to be active, meaning we have to order a minimum of, depending on your rank, but if you're just a coach or an Emerald coach, a minimum of 50 personal volume PV points a month. So that means, if we're already all getting Shakeology, you're already covered with 90 PV. The performance line covers you with 90 PV. So there's anything that you're buying personally for yourself counts towards your personal volume points. And you need to have at least 50 of those every single month to remain active as a coach. So in order for you to hit Emerald, 2 people under you need to have active coach accounts as well. That's basically it. There's nothing really else to explain. Like you just need, and so this is the first time too, we're talking about the legs. So Beachbody is built on a 2-leg system. So if you look at the pictures here, like you're at the top, whether you're just a coach, active coach means, you have the 50 PV. Emerald means you have 2 people under you. Ruby, Diamond goes up. But under all of us, we have a left and a right leg. And the most important thing to know at this point in your business is what I think, because I think next I'm going to talk about, I think I remember what's next, but it's important to know which leg is your weak leg and which leg is your strong leg. No matter what, you're building evenly. So like if you sign people, I'll tell you have 3 people that you want to sign up as coaches. My advice from the beginning is you're alternating legs. Like you just want to sign people up evenly. So you're building your legs evenly all the way down.
I don't think we should get into weak leg, strong leg today though, if that's where you're going.
If we're talking about spouse account, we have to, but yes.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that. But anyways, the bottom line is the main focus is like whenever you sign any coaches up under you, you should be switching what leg they're going on. So the first person, if they get automatically put on your left leg, you want to make sure the second person you sign up goes on your right leg. Once you have that and they're both active and you're active, you'll hit Emerald status. One thing that I didn't know in the beginning was Chris, if you sign 2 people up tonight and it's Monday, your back office is not going to show you your Emerald until Thursday. We get paid on Thursday and that's when the week ends. So every single week, the end of business, the end of the day, I think technically it's like 2 a.m. Eastern time, but at the end of the day on Wednesday, whatever your status is at that point will reflect the next day in your back office. So we always look for rank advancements to show up on Thursdays. That's when we look at our paychecks. But again, the most important thing is just building evenly, because every time you rank advance up higher than Emerald, you just have to have even legs. It's really important all the way up until Diamond. And then there's going to be plenty of other trainings on how we strategize after that.
Perfect. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, I think you're going to talk about this too, is like how we actually make money. And I think the most important thing to like remember, like some of you might not have gotten started coaching to make money, like you'd want to help people. And so when I first started, like it wasn't about money for me. And I felt really uncomfortable even like talking about earning an income or making money. But like someone said something to me that kind of like made me think about it totally differently. And so basically, all this income potential and like earning money, like if you're making money in this business, it's like a direct reflection on the impact that you're having. So the number of people that you're helping is going to be reflected by, you know, the amount of money that you're making. And so Irene's going to talk to you guys about how we actually earn money and like what, you know, she talked about the paychecks on Thursdays, but you know, how are we getting paid, Irene? How do we make money?
Okay. So yeah, this does go into weak and strong leg a little bit. So like I said before, you're building your business evenly on both sides for the long while until you get to a certain point, which your coach will talk to you about. Every single thing that anybody purchases from you, whether they're a coach on your team or just a customer, it's tied to a point volume system. So like if somebody buys Shakeology, it's 90 points. It's 90 volume points. If somebody buys a challenge pack, each challenge pack has a different number of points assigned to it. Okay. So those points basically just accumulate. You never lose them. If you don't use them, they carry over into the next week. But the goal is, so once you hit Emerald, you unlock team cycle bonus. So you have to be active no matter what, in order to even make a commission ever. Like even if you sell something and you're not active, you won't earn commission on that thing. So always you being active is number one priority. You being Emerald and hitting Success Club is number 2 and 3 for just basically continuing to build the base foundation of the business, like the minimal goals. But the volume points are something that's kind of additionally tied on. So you're still earning commission on the things that you're selling, but you're also getting these volume points each week. The system, when you're Emerald, gets like cycles through your points. Okay. So let's say you have 200 points, like this says 200 points on your strong leg, 100 points on your weak leg. It cycles through one time. Okay. So you'll earn for that one cycle $14 as an Emerald, $16 as a ruby, $18 as a diamond and star diamond. So that doesn't only happen one time. In the beginning, it might, but at this point, you know, I'm at the point in my business where it's like at least $100 to $200 every single week that's coming from team cycle bonus. So it's kind of like it gets to a point, and you know, once you get further than where I am, that's a really big chunk of the passive income. Is when you and your team are building and your volume is growing, this becomes a huge chunk of your paycheck that's coming every single week. It gets up into the thousands. These are the maxes for each of the rank goals. But let's say you have 1,000 volume points on your strong leg and 500 on your weak leg. You would cycle through 5 different times. Okay, so that would give you 5 times 14. What is that? $60. So as you keep growing your team volume, and like if it's uneven, and let's say you have some left on your weak leg, you don't lose it. It just carries over into the next week, and then you're able to cycle again. So you don't really need to like keep track of this. Okay, this is not something that you necessarily keep track of right now. It's something important to know because we do have multiple different ways of earning. They give us bonuses. This is one of those bonuses. We earn commission. We have a few different lines in our paychecks of ways that we can earn money. This is one of them. But the beauty of it is you don't have to do something on top of what you're already doing to get to these things. This is just happening by the computer anyways. So the most important thing to understand is like, we have to be active. We have to be Emerald to be taking advantage of this. And it might seem little in the beginning, like your first one is probably going to be $14 and it's like, oh, cool. It's $14, but down the road, it is something that grows exponentially and does make up a significant amount of your paychecks as you continue to build your business. So again, this is another reason why it's important to build your legs evenly, because you want to cycle through as much as possible. Like if you have 50,000 points on your strong leg and 20 points on your weak leg, you're not going to cycle through even one time, right? So we want to build evenly as we're growing our business. We just want to keep alternating legs until we get further rank advanced.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So how to qualify for leads. I think we kind of, I already sort of talked about this earlier, but you have to be an active coach, which is like 50 PV. You have to have your business services paid. That's like your $15.99. Be a paid rank of Emerald and achieve Success Club 5 or higher. And you're going to get free leads from the company, which is really cool. Really cool. So, all right, how to get there. Irene, this is you again.
Okay. So this is important to like find out what your weak and strong leg is, in my opinion.
Because well, you were kind of talking about like if they're going to sign their spouse up to know the difference between the weak and strong leg. And I think it's less important if you make sure you're signing up your like mom and spouse like right away, right? Because then it's
yeah. So,
no.
well, yes. And I mean, yes, it depends how you're kind of trying to do it. So I think like, I listen to a lot of trainings on like the importance of signing up your spouse. And for us, it was kind of a no-brainer. Like I think that you having the desire to build this business, like it's kind of a requirement. When you hear kind of like how Team Cycle Bonus is only $14 in the beginning, this isn't something that like you're gonna do and it's gonna just like exponentially grow your income, right? But it is something that you're like, the order that you sign people up under you, your volume trickles down to the people under you. Okay, so you getting somebody that you like, your spouse or your parent or somebody directly under you as the first coach position on either leg directly under you is like the most influential position that you have underneath. So it's important that you kind of have those spots for those people. They're guaranteed, right? Like it's not someone who's like, oh, I think I really want to do this. And then maybe they decide they don't want to do it. And then you kind of like lose that main spot, or maybe they don't want to work the business, but they're holding their coach account. And then that they're taking that spot up, right? So like, that might be a weird way to say it, but it's that like that primary spot directly under you is really has the most impact for growth down the road. So I want you to think about this as like, if you hear from some of our top coaches, they all have spouse and mom. Like that's usually the thing, spouse on one leg, mom on the other leg. And down the road, after they start building up their own business, they start building those accounts for those people. And you basically just have the biggest ability to like leverage your business, your top business into their businesses too, and create a second stream of income. A lot of people actually have like there's also people on our team that have their spouses who are actually working the business themselves too. But it doesn't have to be that. Like, I feel like I'm not explaining this well
No,
at all.
I think you're explaining it well, but like just for our purposes, like to have someone like the two people, like how I kind of explain it to my coaches is like you want your mom or your sister or brother up there because for one, you know that them drinking Shakeology every month is going to help them, but also like you can call them if you see that they've gone inactive and be like, Mom, like what's going on? Like they're the people that you trust and know and can say, hey, like this is helping my business, you staying active, you drinking this, or you doing the workouts, like whatever. They're people that you know and you can go to, because you're not going to want to do that as you get further down. Like I have lots of coaches who, order Shakeology every other month or like, you know what I mean? So those people, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, freaking out to them. Like you need to like order more stuff. So it's the people that you trust and know, and you can call them like when you need them to make sure they're keeping up with the order to ensure that you are always a solid Emerald.
Yeah.
That's important too. So,
You're right.
and like Irene said, down the road, building those accounts up if you want to too. So, so once you've gone Emerald, it's like two people, your sister and your mom, or your spouse and your like two people on your right and left. The next goal is to like go Emerald again. Like and then again, and then again, and then we'll talk about how that meant, then all of a sudden you're diamond. So one way we do that is that we always offer the coach opportunity first. So after I'm talking to someone and I've asked them all the questions about their nutrition and their fitness and what their goals are, and they're like, cool, yeah, like I'm down, I want to do this. Then I usually send them a message that looks something like this, and it's just like, yay. So next step, I will send you an email with a cart and info to complete your enrollment. Also, and this is when I'm introducing the coach opportunity, you have the option to enroll for free today as a VIP customer, which is like a discount coach. If you have a friend or sister or coworker who wants to do this with you, you can earn what we call a friend bonus. You don't have to think of anyone right away, but what usually happens in a week or two, when you start to get results and feel amazing, people will be asking you, girl, what are you doing? And you tell them. They join us too, and you earn $25 to $50 for every friend. It's super simple, and it makes more sense that you get the bonus since they are your friends. Also, as a VIP, you will get early access to new programs plus 25% off all products. So if you do fall in love with the superfood shake, you get it way cheaper. Since you're getting a startup package, you have the option to enroll today for free. If that sounds good, I will add the VIP status to your cart. Sound good? And then they're usually like, that sounds great. And then I'm like, what flavor shake do you want? And then I just send them that. So the other thing that you should know, if you have friends or family that are military, they get the VIP or discount coach. They get the discount for free. For everyone else, it's just the $15.99 or $14.99, depending, I think, where you live. So military, any active military, if their spouse is military or retired military, gets this discount. So that's a really easy way. That's one of the ways I like built my husband's account up to Emerald fast, is because I have a military person and then my dad over there. So because they just stay active easily. I don't know what this MM100 is.
I don't know. Another thing I want to say about oh my God. About the coaching opportunity, about like presenting the coaching opportunity, is when I first started, early on when I first started, I was in a group, and instead of being scared, like I kind of heard a perspective that really changed kind of the way I thought about it. Because we don't have, like, people, especially before the preferred customer thing comes about, which is about to come, so people can just designate what they want, whether they want to coach or not. We're not trying to like sneakily sign people up to coach. So it's not what this is. Since there isn't a preferred customer thing yet, it feels weird because then people are like, oh my God, what does that mean? Do I need to like do what you're doing and share, you know, like people sometimes tend to freak out, but the important thing to recognize, like, it's just a discount program. You know what I mean? Like if you shop, like, it's kind of like Amazon Prime. If you always order from Amazon and you don't pay for the membership to get Amazon Prime, which means you get the free shipping and you get all the stuff, like, it kind of doesn't make any sense, right? But imagine if someone was selling Amazon Prime memberships and they were like, okay, well, you know, they were scared to tell you, you can pay $99 a year to get Amazon Prime and you'll get all this stuff for free. They were scared that you were going to say no. So they just didn't tell you can get the discounts. And you're sitting here like an idiot ordering Amazon Prime without the discount. And then a year later, you're like, someone's like, oh my God, isn't Amazon Prime amazing? I get all my packages in 2 days for free. And you're like, what do you mean? I pay $15.95 for shipping. You know, like if you find out later, like you could have been getting a discount and someone was just scared because they thought you were going to assume something about coaching or whatever the case may be, like, it's just a discount in a lot of scenarios. So we're not doing customers, we're doing them a disservice by not informing them about this, because we're the experts about Beachbody. We're the flight attendants, right? We're the ones telling people how and what to do and giving them advice because we know the business and we know how to guide them. So we have to present the opportunity, because like otherwise we're responsible for, if they wanted it and we didn't tell them, we're like losing out on, you know, showing them that we are in it, like we're really in it for their best interest. We have their best interest at heart. Like
100%. I think one of, like, me personally, I am so always looking for a good deal. I want the best deal. I'm like a thrifty shopper. Like I love a sale. And so I don't ever feel weird about offering this to every single person who's ever going to, because the cost is the same. So they're like, okay, cool, let's sign up. I'm like, great, let's get up is on sale. This is our cheapest package. That's why I'm selling it to you. You can still do MBF or any of the other workouts, but this is the best challenge pack. It's the same cost for them to get the VIP status. And then they can try the shakes or whatever supplements they're going to be getting with their challenge pack. And then they could decide. So it's like, they don't have to decide if they want to keep the shakes or whatever, but at least they get to sign up as a VIP for free. Because if they wait, if you don't tell them about this, and then next month they're like, oh my God, I love these shakes, I'm going to keep ordering them. Okay, well now they have to pay $40 to become a VIP, and it's offered for free when they sign up with the challenge pack. So it just is, you're doing, like Irene said, you're doing them a service by helping them save money just from the get. So I think it's important that we know just like the cost of all of the things too, and making sure we're being aware of the things and getting people the best deal is always good. So Irene, you want to talk about tips for how do you find coaches, or how do you, when you're like on social media or in your challenges or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about what it means to be a coach, we're basically like people's cheerleaders and motivators, right? Like we're supporting them and we're showing up, right? We're in our challenge groups, we're posting our sweaty selfies, but we're also like commenting on other people's. If somebody posts a question, we're answering it, or we're patting them on the back or whatever. So there's naturally people that are going to be doing that, whether you see people doing it on social media or in your challenge groups. People, there's a significant number of people who are just like natural cheerleaders and natural like helpers, right? It's our job to recognize those people. And like step one of anyone believing that they can be a coach is their coach being like, hey, you'd be a really good coach. Like it's really simple, because that's all I mean, like obviously, yes, there's other work that we do. We're not just cheerleaders, but like that's the most important part. Like that's what kind of starts it all off, and it's kind of contagious, and it makes you feel really good when you're lifting other people up. So most people need that kind of breath of belief put into them. And even if they're like, no, I could never do that or whatever, once you tell them, like, I think you'd be good at this, they start paying attention in a different way. And they start thinking like, maybe I could do this. And then they start watching more of what you're doing. Or, but even if it's someone that's not in your groups and just on social media, and you're inviting them and saying like, hey, like you post like so many good quotes. Like there's a few girls that I follow that they're just like constantly putting up like motivational quotes, it's easy. I'm like, I want to follow you because I'm inspired to stay positive and motivated and whatever from the stuff you post. Like, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And even if they don't know what I do, or if they like, then they start paying more attention to what I'm posting, and start, instead of just like following my account for inspiration, they start trying to put themselves in that situation and think like, is this something that I could do? So it just changes their perspective a little bit, and the way that they are paying attention to you and thinking that they could do it. So it's really important for us to be paying attention to those people, both in social and in our challenge groups, so that we can be the one, encouraging them if we see them doing it. Because a lot of times too, those are the people that are constantly ordering supplements that even, they don't need to have goals of quitting their job, but they may just want to get their supplements paid for, which is how I started. I just wanted to pay for my supplements so that we could keep doing it, because we were not in a good financial place. So I was like, if I want to keep doing this, if I want to keep getting Shakeology for me and my husband, and Energize and Recover, that was all that there was then. We got all of those things, and Hydrate. And then they came out with beach bars, and we get we like literally get everything. So my whole thing was like, I just want to earn my supplements so that I can continue my journey without coming out of my own pocket every month, or that being something I cut out when times get hard, right? Because that's the first thing we cut is the thing that we probably need the most. So it can be an opportunity just for them to pay for their own supplements every month or make a couple $100 extra. So it's really important to plant that seed basically in their head that they would be good at it. And that you can help them to learn how to do all the other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, the memory jogger.
We can talk about that later. I mean, it's good. I don't know really why that's in there.
Yeah.
So inviting like new people on social media, or people who are watching your stories, or people, so anyone who shows up in my stories or posts are going to get an invite from me. The other thing I was going to say while Irene was talking too is, sometimes like when you're just on social media, like when you see someone like Chris, you were talking earlier about like your cousin out in California who has a lot of people who comment and are engaged in her stuff. Like if I see someone like that who's always showing up and is funny, and is like, you know, posting things and get a lot of people are commenting, and she seems like she's got like good influence, that I might send her something like, or if she's posting her workouts all the time, I might send her something like, hey, did you know that you can get like paid to do these workouts that I'm doing and actually get paid to help other people do them too? Have you ever thought about something like that? Or if someone is posting like yummy looking recipes all the time and you can tell that they're really into like nutrition, or they have a lot of, you know, they're not scared to share, you know, what they're eating every day, you could send them something like, you know, oh my gosh, girl, you post like the yummiest looking food. Did you know that you could get paid to keep sharing those meals and help other people follow a nutrition plan too? Have you ever thought about being an online coach? Just like ask people, like if you've been following them and you've been engaging on their stuff, like you can ask someone that you think would be a really good coach, something like that. And like Irene said, it's gonna just, and they might be like, no, I've never thought about it. And then, but they are gonna start watching you. And so then you can start showing up, and they're gonna be like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. So this is a sample invite. Like I said, anyone who shows up in my stories or anyone who shows up on my posts and they like or comment or they're watching my stories, I'll send them something like this. Hey, Karen, thanks for the love on my post. Or hey, Karen, thanks for watching my stories. Putting myself out there isn't always easy, but I'm on a mission too. And then you insert your mission, like who are you trying to help? Like what is your ideal customer? Who do you want to work with if you're talking about coaching? So I'm on a mission to help tired moms create simple new habits to improve their energy, mood, and relationships. Are you, and you can ask them like, why are you following me? Are you following me for fitness, nutrition, my sweet family, or are you interested in learning more about coaching? And then start a conversation. That's for probably someone who's watching your stuff that you've never talked to before. Otherwise, I would probably know why they're following me because we've been having conversations. So if you go to message someone that's liked your post or watched your stories and you've never talked to them before, I would send them something like this. Or this is another one. Irene, do you want to talk about when you find someone on social media that's like a stranger, like what kind of influence or what kind of invite you send them?
Yeah, I sent something similar to this. So like it's important to start to like narrow down and like find your people. And I always use this story because it was way when I first started and I was like scared of talking to anybody, and someone found me this way. Even though it wasn't, she probably has no idea she found me this way because I like freaked out and I like didn't follow her back, and now I don't know where she is. She's like lost in the internet. But she had put a post up that was like, you know, like an introduction post. She's like, there's new people on my page, so I just wanted to like, these are 10 facts about me. And like every fact was like, I could have written the post. I was like, oh my, like literally she wrote like loves lemon, like could drink lemon juice and eat pickles. Like it was as if I wrote it. Okay. And it was one of those things where I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. We're like the same person. But that's what we're like, literally, like that's part of this job, is like learning how to find people like that you just like super like could like you have a lot in common with and you connect with them. So you find their page and you're like, you know, interacting on all their stuff because you love what they're putting out there. this is the type of thing you would say to a normal person. If you met someone in real life that was like, started talking you and they were saying all these things that are like completely in line with your goals and your life, like whatever, you'd be like, oh my God, we're the same person. Like I like, have you ever thought about doing what I'm doing? Like, why wouldn't you say that in real life? So the thing that's really helpful to me to think about is like, we're bridging the gap between social media just being like a weird place where we're randomly messaging people to like just being a social platform to meet other awesome people that, you know what I mean? Like that's it. And this is kind of one of those things where, again, like you're planting the seed for the person to be like, okay, who is this chick and what is she about? And then they come to your page and you're like, they go to your post and they're like, oh my God, I could have written that. We're like the same person. You know what I mean? Like it's just finding things in common with people that, plants the seed too for them to look and think about like, maybe I could do this. If she's doing it and we're so similar, like maybe I could do it. So this is a really good example one. Your feed is so inspiring. I just blew up your page. Cause if you're like liking and commenting on their stuff, that all the things that you're like, you know, whatever, I could have written this myself. It's scary how much worse. And I've written things like that before. Like some people don't answer you, but some people are like, oh my God, that's so funny. And then you just start a conversation. Like it's literally just about being social. Yeah.
Okay, I already told you guys all this. This is example sign up wording, just another like way to talk to them about becoming a coach. Like I sign almost everyone up as a discount coach, which I don't know if it's good or bad. What to do with your spouse? Yeah, they're part of your business. It's a strategy. I don't know what I meant by not faking it. It's very important. So I think like what we want to stress to you guys is signing up your spouse. If you are serious about running a business and running this like a business, I'm not talking about if you're serious about like working 40 hours a week doing coaching. Like you can be serious about your business and want to take it slow and want to walk with it or jog with it. You don't have to be like wanting to sprint with me and Irene, but like if you're serious about long term, you want to do this, you want to help as many people as possible, like signing up your spouse, you just sort of have to trust us. Like it is the best business strategy that you can have. And I do have a YouTube video that I'm going to post in the comments after this call. It's like 17 minutes. It explains, in my opinion, really, really well, like the opportunity cost of not signing them up right away, and what you could be missing out on. And so this lady gives a really good example because she's, you know, she was sharing about how she didn't sign someone up and then she ended up signing up a rock star and her husband wasn't under that person, and so she was losing literally like $100,000 a year, you know, way into her business because she didn't sign up her spouse right away. So there is strategy to that, and it's very important.
Those top spots are really important, but not faking it is in reference to there's people who feel like, well, they're building a business that's like appears to be not just them, but they're like holding their whole business up by themselves, like them and their spouse account. And that's how you're like rank advancing and stuff like that. Which it can feel like that in the beginning because there's no financial benefit necessarily. Like you really are just like reserving that spot for down the road when your main account is making 6-7 figures and your spouse account is making 5 to 6 figures. Like that's what you're doing this for. So it really is the long-term benefit of it. And it's not a matter of like, the only way you can do this is if you sign up people, you know, that you can control their accounts. It's not that at all. And I think that there's some people that, assume that or think that or whatever. So it is really important to understand the impact that you can have later on down the road if you have that top spot or both top spots ideally reserved by your fam, like people that are definitely not going anywhere. There is part of what is their name? The sisters that Autumn is friends with in Miami or in the Keys. I can't remember what their names are, but the one, it was a lawyer, and she now she's not a lawyer anymore. I'm sure maybe she is a lawyer still, but she's only a coach. But her husband and her sister maybe she's the one who did that video. Actually,
I
do you know
think
her name? I can't think of her
I
name
have
right
it pulled up.
now. It's driving me crazy. But she talks about how her sister in the whole beginning was like, I don't want to build this business. I'm just doing it to support you and whatever. And now her sister is also like a 7-figure earner. I mean, like they have these huge businesses. But she talks really well about, I bet that this video is her. She talks a lot too about
Brooke
just,
Lip off.
oh no, it's not her. So there's more people in the company that feel the same way. But no, I think, I mean, she has her sister and her husband like in those top 2 spots. And it's like she like bases her success, like the reason she was able to build such a strong business is because they're in those 2 top spots. So
I'm sure there's plenty of stories about this because the video that I'm going to like get them to watch is like 6 years old. And so we're really lucky because we've had a lot of coaches kind of like pioneer the road for us. And like, this works, this doesn't work. And like, that's even why they have the whole Success Club tracker system now for us, which none of those coaches that have been around for a while had. So like all of these strategies and things, like some of the things you just kind of have to like lean in and trust the people that have come before you to like none of us are like trying to scam you and like be like, do this. And like, it doesn't benefit us for you to sign up your husband. It's going to benefit you. Like, we're not going to earn a bunch of volume off your husband. Like, that's not what this is about. It's about us caring about you growing a business because I mean, obviously you having a successful business would help us if we're your upline, but like more than that, like Irene and I know for sure I can say this, like we care about you as humans and as people and as friends. And we don't want you, like with our customers who, if we don't tell them about the discount, we don't want you a year from now to be like, what the hell? Like I have all these other coaches. Now my husband's like way down here. Like, why didn't you tell me this? Like, we are telling you this. It's week 3. Like you can no longer say we didn't tell you. Please do this. And just trust the people that come before you to like, we have your best interest at heart.
yeah,
So.
we don't want to learn the 6-figure mistakes. We
Yeah.
can listen to the uplines and learn from them so that we don't make the same thing.
Yes.
This is why though I am going to say, if you signing up your spouse should be on your weak leg. And if you don't know what that means, when you sign your spouse up, reach out to your upline and we'll help you figure that out. But they should be on your weak leg, ideally.
Yeah. The only thing I guess I would say is like, if they've not signed anyone up, if they only have one other person signed up, they're not going to really have a weak leg or strong leg yet. So,
well,
like, yeah, I guess you would. Like, if you've got one person on the left, like your weak leg is going to be your right. So
no, because depending on who your upline is, some people don't, but depending on who your coach is and how their volume trickles down to you, I had a very obvious strong leg and weak leg when I signed up before anybody else signed up under me.
okay.
Because of what trickled down from Kaylee. So, and I've also had people who didn't know the trick and signed their spouse up on the right leg, and they like learned later again, like they should have been on the, I mean, it is important to just double check and make sure before you get signed up.
Okay. I agree. So short-term strategy, sign up your spouse, sign up your mom, get yourself to Success Club. So if you sign both your mom and your spouse up, you're going to be at Success Club 4, and you'll hit Emerald. So, and then getting your spouse to Emerald is like a kind of like a long-term thing. But again, why are you signing up those, like signing them up? You're going to get an additional source of income long-term as you build, you get like more income. So you just, again, one of those things like that first chart we were showing you guys about the team cycle bonuses and stuff, like that all plays into this. So, and it's something that you can control, like we talked about. So that's the YouTube video. I don't think I can play it here, but I'm going to put it in the thing. And then like long-term, like kind of like your goals, once you hit Emerald, once you're like hitting Success Club every month, securing Diamond, continue to look for working coaches, hit Success Club each month, add 2 new coaches to your spouse account. And then we would love it if you guys came up with a, like, when do you want to hit Diamond? So after you hit Emerald, obviously we believe that you can do that this week. Like by the end of this week, before the next call, you could definitely hit Emerald. And then we can start talking about like your Diamond by what date. So do you have any long-term strategy thoughts, Irene?
I mean, setting your non-negotiables, this is something that I learned from my coach, but that I teach down also, because I just once we make the decision to run this business, consistency is really important. And I think having a non-negotiable goal every month is really important to continuing to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. So Success Club and Emerald status, like hitting Success Club every month and Emerald status, showing up consistently in your stories. These are all things that, it's important to build them as habits from the beginning. Completing your bat every day, they're imperative to start doing from now. So the longer the further you get into your business and the more you continue to build, they're just natural things that happen without you even thinking. And it just kind of makes the entire process easier, because then as you do continue to build and grow and, whatever, do all the things that you're doing as you build your business, you can add on to those things without it feeling overwhelming. So starting with that base thing, really Success Club, hitting Emerald, getting the customer leads, these are all things that if we're doing them consistently over time, you can't not be building your business month over month. One of my first goals was every single month I wanted to make more than I made the last month. In my first year, I was I want to once I made 350 the first month, and I was all right, well, even if I make 351 next month, I just want to make more than I made last month. And then I kept doing I did that for an entire year. Every single month I was building my income. So making these little things for yourself too, so it's not we need to push ourselves out of our comfort zones, but it helps to have these little things that make us continue showing up every day and sharing our story and being consistent, showing up on social, talking to new people. The more practice we get at it now, the faster we'll kind of it'll just feel normal. So that's kind of my only advice.
I think it's good. The next thing is just this roadmap to diamond. And if you guys remember when we first were talking about those team cycle bonuses, once you hit diamond, then your team cycle bonus goes up to 18 every time you cycle. And so this is just a good, so basically you're signing up 2 new coaches each month. 1, 2, 3. So 2 coaches on your right and left, that's Emerald. So hitting diamond, all hitting diamond is doing hitting Emerald 4 times, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2 of those people, you're going to help them get to Emerald. And you're going to find out how easy it is to hit Emerald when you guys start having conversations with people about this stuff. So this is just kind of an idea of, the next couple of months, where you could be. But Irene and I believe if you guys are doing all the things that we are telling you to do, that's what I did when I first started. My coach would say, go do this, and I would go do this. She'd say, listen to this podcast, and I'd listen to it. She'd say, watch this National Wake Up Call, and I'd watch it. Anything my coach told me to do, I just went and did it. I was like a sponge, absorbing all the things. And I also didn't know what I was doing. So I would just do whatever they told me to do. And, over time, I figured out what works for me and what doesn't. But until you have your plan and your system, I would encourage you to just do whatever Irene and I are suggesting. And as consistently as possible, doing those daily activities in the Success Club tracker that we talked about last week will be, we have no doubt that by, the end of this year, you could be diamond and making whatever income you want to be making. So the business and the possibilities are really up to you and whatever your goals are. So that's about it for this week. Chris, do you have any questions we can talk about now? Or Irene, you want to say anything else? I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna stop recording.